Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and I would like to share with you a very aggressive attacking game played by legendary Garry Kasparov. His opponent is Claudia Tambasco, and the game was played in 2004 in Sao Paulo. This was a chess simul, and Kasparov started with e4, e6 by Tambasco, French defense d4, d5, knight d2, Kasparov goes for Tarrasch variation, knight f6, e5, knight d7, f4, c5, c3, white is strengthening his center, knight c6, black is starting to put more and more pressure on d4 square. Of course, all this is a standard theory, knight f3, bishop e7, bishop d3, a6, knight e2 and b6. Well, looks a bit strange. It would have been logical after a6 to play b5 and then b4, but instead we see b6, white castles kingside and bishop b7. Actually, this is a terrible move after which white is gaining a huge advantage. Well, it was better to play g6 and act against f5. Instead we see bishop b7 and here we go f5. h6 and knight f4. Well, it's not quite clear why Kasparov didn't capture on e6, black can't recapture because of this bishop g6 check, but in the game we see knight f4, e takes f5, bishop takes f5, g6, and here comes knight takes g6. This is just a total destruction. Nothing can stop white's aggression. Rook g8 was played. Well, if a move like f takes g6, then bishop takes g6, and then knight h4 discover check, black should give up some material. Otherwise, if a move like king g7, then rook f7, and then queen h5 with threats of knight f5, knight h6. If bishop takes h4, then white can go for this beautiful bishop h7 check, and then queen g6 check, and black king is getting checkmated. That's why after knight takes g6, black didn't dare to capture on g6 and played rook g8, and the knight is retreating back on f4 square, bishop g5. Now comes a6. White is simply trying to open up the center and target black king stuck in the center of the board. F takes e6, knight takes e6, queen b8, knight takes g5, h takes g5, queen h5 check. This is simply a massacre, guys. What's going on? King e7, bishop takes g5 check. Black's position actually collapsed very early. King d6, bishop f4 check, knight e5, d takes e5 check, king c6, queen h6 threatening some discovered checks, bishop c8, knight d8 check, king b5. Well, if king c7, then e6 check. If king takes d8, then e takes d7. White can go for a checkmate and not pay attention to that poor queen. If bishop takes d7, then queen f6, and then rook e1. This is simply over. That's why after knight d8 check, king b5 was played, a4 check, king a5, and now can you find the best move for white? Ready? Actually, Kasparov played b4 check, but there was a mate in 1. In the game we see b4 check, c takes b4. Again, there is a mate in 1, but as we can see, Kasparov was overlooking that move. Knight c6 finally, king c5 and rook c1, and finally we see a checkmate on the board. This Tarrasch variation can sometimes be very tricky. Black should be very careful. Of course, Kasparov's opponent was an amateur player. This was a chess simul, but Kasparov's attack was very brutal. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave your comments. Good luck.